I'm sitting here at Adtech. My name is Sarah Fay. I'm the chairman of the DMG Board of Governors, and I'm sitting here with Miha Mikek, who is a third-time entrepreneur and CEO and founder of a company called Celtra. Thanks for being with me, Miha.
Thank you for inviting me.
So Celtra has very quickly, it was launched over the last year, and it has quickly grown to become the most widely used platform for creating, distributing, measuring mobile-rich media. Isn't that right, Miha?
Yes, correct. I mean, we started actually in 2006 already in mobile. So we started with the SMS technology, but obviously this industry has changed so much, and we relaunched the company entirely in 2010. So we've been now in the rich media space for about 2 years, and that's our focus now. So.
And you did that because you saw the opportunity in mobile-rich media, of course. I think of mobile marketing and mobile media a bit as the Wild West. Again, in the digital marketing space, there are so many companies, there's a lot of fragmentation. There's actually, for people who aren't familiar with doing mobile media, some challenges that exist. Can you talk about the challenges in placing mobile media and what Celtra is doing to make it easier for people?
Sure. So, when we started, that was, as I said, like in 2010. The challenge was really, there were 3 challenges. The first one was really the creation. So, if you wanted to do something that was really engaging, it was usually all done like by custom coding. So it was, it took, quite some time and a lot of cost to actually create such campaign and also optimize the campaign for, multiple devices and, also differences between the operation systems. Secondly, the distribution. So no standardization, whatsoever. A lot of proprietary, SDKs were, really kind of like I would say like the biggest, problems for, the industry to get the reach. And so the third one, was the analytics. So really kind of understanding what's going on with the ads, how to measure them, how to benchmark them. So those are kind of like the 3 areas. And we started. First with the creation part, because you need to create an ad first to run it. But literally today we are really developing technology for all those 3 areas to make the creation really simple, distribution seamless and really easy. And at the end of it, you can really measure the ads and kind of benchmark them across with the other interactive media that you are actually doing and planning.
Well, I know I'm involved with the mobile media marketplace as well, and you can feel the momentum of how it's growing. Do you get that sense too? Do you think that mobile media really is here? Is it being given the time and attention it deserves, or do you feel like it's just around the corner?
No, absolutely. I mean, I think this 2011 was really, I would say, the tipping point. So, it was all driven by the usage. So if you look at, the penetration of smartphone devices, we are talking about 100 million devices in the US, that are basically smartphone devices. And this is really, kind of the target audience that we go after with, rich media ads or even just with mobile advertising. On the other hand, what is really interesting is how the main services such as social media are being accessed today and used. It's like mostly on the go. So, Twitter just announced, they have about 60% of people coming, or tweeting from mobile devices. Facebook is at around 40%, and it's, one of kind of like on the low, I would say, side. So, we are definitely seeing this like massive volume of traffic. And with that, the advertisers are definitely following as well.
It is getting exciting, and I know Miha was telling me he's done some business with some really big players, very exciting, Shazam, Rovio, who are really integrating advertising in with the overall experience. They really care about pleasing the user. And then you just came back from Japan. In fact, weren't you at Adtech in Japan?
Yes, correct. So we've been to Japan because we are starting their partnership with Cyber Communications, which is a wholly owned subsidiary of Dentsu. So they actually brought the IAT to Japan as well, and Japan became a very interesting market. It's been always the biggest mobile advertising market in the world, but they've been on their own, feature phone devices, very, specific. Right now, this, transition is happening from feature phones to, iOS and Android, and it just the market is really growing rapidly. So we are very excited about Japan and the opportunity that we have there with Denso.
Yep. And we have to acknowledge what IAD has done for a lot of creativity in the marketplace. I think that, Celtra is doing the same kind of things except across all of the platforms, right? Android as well. But I mean, give the industry a grade on creative. Are you seeing things out there that inspire you? Where are we as a marketplace?
Yeah, I think we've seen a lot of great campaigns from all the major rich media vendors in the space. So we get even inspired by competition. So I think everyone has been pushing really forward. What is really important now is kind of like to take mobile to the next level. So not just trying to imitate the online campaigns, but really develop mobile in ways where mobile really has the advantage. It's mobility and physicality. Mobile devices, you use them on the go, and that's something that is different than with the online computers. And you can use location in many different ways. We've seen location-based services, but I think that's just the beginning. So I think we'll see much more, and that will also be part of the creative, because the creative it is also basically merged together with the functionality. And the other thing is physicality. So you hold the device, the interface is different, and that also enables very interesting creative execution. So I think we'll see more, but also I'm very pleased with what's already out there on the market.
Is there any campaign in particular you think you should point the market toward to look at for inspiration?
Yeah, I always direct people to the campaigns we've done, because everything we do, we are very proud of the creative execution. So we put a lot of attention on how the campaigns are designed. So we recently launched an Infinity campaign that actually received an award, and it's a great case for the automotive industry. Bank of America campaign that we recently also launched for with Phone Valley and Digitas. I think it's a great example of a rich media campaign for the financial industry sector, which was very traditional about basically mobile campaigns, and I think they're now pushing forward with very interesting creative execution. So things like that. So there are a lot of great campaigns, and I encourage everyone to visit our website and check them out. So we have plenty of videos on the site.
You guys have a creative service, but you also help a lot of agencies get better at creating mobile. You're sort of like an assistant to agencies, or help creating campaigns and then helping agencies to understand how you did that so they can do it themselves. But a lot of these campaigns are created where you're from, which is Slovenia. Miha is a Slovenian native, and half of his company is still in Slovenia. That's a pretty interesting part about Celtra. Is it an advantage to have half of I know it means a lot of frequent flyer miles for you, but what's the advantage of having a team in Slovenia?
Sure. So first of all, I think we are seeing more and more startups here in US that are that started in Europe, across Europe, Eastern Europe, and have now offices here, or they have basically international teams. I think the entire industry has globalized a lot. Today you can sit anywhere you want. You can be in Slovenia or Croatia, or you can be in Estonia, and develop technology or even applications for iOS and Android, and there are many successful companies. So I think the advantage for us is really tapping into great talent. So there's a lot of great talent. We are growing teams on both sides, Slovenia and here US, but I think on the long run that gives us a certain advantage. In terms of also the value we create and our creative services. So we do creative to that extent that we develop our platform further. So we need to be the heavy users of the platform, so that we understand how the product actually performs and what could be better and so on. Also, I think it's still early in the market, so the clients, they need assistance, they need help. They need a lot of hand holding, but the idea is that we'll, at the end of the day, fully transition, and really give the platform into the agency hands. So we want to be the enablers, have a platform that actually allows agencies, creative agencies, to actually, build, awesome mobile ads and, run them across the ecosystem.
Leave me with a final thought, Miha. I mean, Celtra is a company that has amazing buzz. I heard a lot of people talking about you today at the Digital Collective. And it has that elusive quality called momentum. So what does 2012 look like for you? What are you most excited about?
We are growing now really fast, and so I think we'll just continue with what we are doing right now. Obviously, we are very excited about all the updates and upgrades on the product. So we'll be releasing a new version of the product in January next year. But in the market, we are the most excited about big publishers, not necessarily traditional publishers like media, but companies like Shazam. We develop a great relationship with them, but also Rovio, some other companies, down the line. We are extremely also excited about the potential opportunities that will open up on Facebook at some point. So I think whole industry will develop around that stuff. And so that's really what we plan to pursue in 2012.
That's very exciting. Thanks for joining me today, Miha.
Thank you for having me.